So we got to go ahead and talk about these accusations that's just been revealed against Shannon Sharpe. Now, this is from none other than Tony Busby himself, the same guy who's been going at it with Jay-Z in the past, saying late last night, the Busby law firm filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of a brave young woman who alleges she was brutally sexually assaulted by former NFL player Shannon Sharpe on multiple occasions, the last incident occurring in January 2025. The lawsuit filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe lays out a pattern of intimidation, manipulation, and abuse, including allegations against Sharpe repeatedly threatening to choke and slap Jane Doe. The case seeks $50 million in damages. The case is on file in Department 11, Clark County State Court, Nevada, the county where the alleged conduct occurred. The egregious and concerning facts of the case are set forth in detail in the public filing. I'm extremely proud to represent Jane Doe. If it takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money, I look forward to pressing this case in court. And also, TMZ picked up on this story, revealing a little bit more details. Now, according to this lawsuit, it says that Sharpe and the Jane Doe met sometime in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 and he was still in his mid-50s. And allegedly, he supposedly told her he would buy her fake tits if she won a weight loss competition with him. The lawsuit claims that Shannon Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion, saying that ultimately they got into a consensual relationship, which she described said relationship as controlling and verbally abusive. A direct quote from Tony Busby says, he demanded complete control over her time and body, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule at his command whenever he called. Now, according to the Jane Doe, she alleges that a firearm was present in the room during an argument one time where a quote was shared. Plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone just in case, but Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing kill you. The two nevertheless continued the relationship, even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, according to Doe, she states in her suit that she attempted to break things off after his infamous IG live streaming incident, which she said led him to raping her. According to the Jane Doe, she claims that Sharpe forced himself on her sometime late last year in October at her apartment, saying that the 56-year-old Hall of Famer forced himself on her, quote, while she was crying and sobbing. And the second time, it's alleged that it happened a few weeks later in January 2025 with the promises of him delivering a Christmas and birthday presents to her estate. But instead, according to her, allegedly, she claims that Shannon Sharpe violently sexually assaulted her once more. As much as Shannon Sharpe got going for himself, I would hope that he would not stoop to this level. Because you got Club Shay Shay, your interview series, you got Nightcap, you got all these different things. And the sad part about this is people are going to blindly believe that this woman actually got raped and not even, wait till there's more evidence comes out, substantial evidence comes out before they make a rash decision and want to be on the wrong side of history. Now, me, myself, I look at it like there's no way in hell Shannon Sharpe did this because of all those said accomplishments. And what makes it worse, he can't even publicly respond now, because if he publicly responds and says, hey, I didn't do it, the people who's automatically with the Jane Doe are gonna just ignore what he's saying as if he can't verbally prove his innocence. And then what makes it worse, even when he gets to court, he can't even prove he's innocent because there's still going to be people, even with a not guilty verdict or a outcome where they end up throwing this whole thing out. And by the way, I don't think he ought to settle out of court or out of this suit. If a woman is accusing you of something you didn't do, stand 10 toes on your square and say, I'm not paying you a fucking dime. We will take this shit to court, the Supreme Court, or whatever court in the land we can, till you straight up get to the bottom of it. Because I think it's messed up that, some women will do that. Not only will they do it, they'll admit that they did it. And people just don't crucify them as much as the person that they just went with saying that they did something to him. To say the least, if he did do it hypothetically, it would be a big blow to everybody. It would be disappointing because of all these accomplishments and things that he got going for himself. It makes it damn near impossible to believe. If this had been anybody else who may have had a history of doing this, it would have made it at least slightly believable. But because it's somebody that is beloved in the eyes of many, it's going to come off like it's so impossible that this could happen. It would be no different than with Casanat if, God forbid, if he got hit with the same shit. There would end up being a situation where people would automatically believe he did that, won't even take into consideration how much he got to lose off an accusation like that. And to make matters worse, you got to think about the possibility of somewhere down the line, this Jane Doe pulling her lawsuit and saying, you know what, actually I made the whole thing up, or I may have not been all the way truthful with Tony Busby, or maybe another accusation against Tony Busby of him trying to push this thing out there just so we can get a quick buck. I understand you got a job to do, but come on, you ain't that hungry for money, I know. But with that being said, y'all let me know what you think about this mess in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.